Desmond, as you stand here in Hither, making your way, beginning to make your way along this broken and shattered causeway that looms 100 feet over a bubbling and stinking swamp below, you feel a familiar presence manifest next to you.
What? Desmond, where are we?
I think we're at a bridge where we just fought a dude with pumpkin jacks? Lantern jacks? I don't know what their names are. They're angry pumpkins. They're
Angry
awesome.
pumpkins. Like pumpkins or, jack-o'-lantern pumpkins?
Like jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Like we grew them. They thought it was awesome.
um, I'm sorry, sometimes things get a little hazy in there.
Fair.
What exactly happened? How did we get from here to there to here?
It's a long story. Like we went through a mirror and we showed up here and we fought a dude on a horse with angry pumpkins that we planted that grew into little minions. I gave that one my dagger, and now I love that dagger.
We'll have to get you another dagger.
I need it.
So basically another day that ends in Y.
Yeah, pretty much. We had to fight, things had to die. I mean, it seems like the mists pretty regularly for us. It's very weird.
Voronika, you do understand, you do notice one significant thing about Desmond. He's wearing a crown made out of flowers, and he's got a pair of very large butterfly wings.
By the way, you're looking very pretty.
Oh, thank you. That's from the carnival. Apparently, I have become the monarch of the Witchlight Carnival, which apparently is a big deal. I didn't know.
Well,
apparently
Your
it's
Majesty.
I mean, if we're bowing, my lady, like, I mean,
Well.
we gotta properly do this, but yeah, it apparently is a big deal. It gave me butterfly wings. I think they're I only get to use them for a little bit, for a handful of times. I think its first usage is probably almost gone, which I'm very sad about. Because I mean, I figured out how to flex butterfly wings. Do you know how hard that is to do?
It's not exactly easy. I tried the butterfly a while ago.
Yeah. Well, like I had to figure out how to flex it with like additional arms because they're not it's weird. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, obviously.
I have an idea, druid things and everything like that. I might have a vague concept of what that's like,
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
You kind of like, we fought the dude, and then you're here. Is everything okay? Is something wrong with the sword?
No, it's just every so often it gets monotonous. Sometimes it's just good to pop out, say hello.
That's a very solid word, monotonous. What do you do in there?
A lot of thinking.
That makes a lot of sense.
Plus, it helps me sort of build up energy to do, well, this.
Oh, so you have to build up energy for that. That's interesting.
Well, it's not like I can just pop in and out like I want to all the time.
I thought that's how it worked.
Nika, as you survey this strange landscape again of lush greenery, but is very swampy, but it immediately, something in you realizes this place is broken, fractured somehow. It's been harmed. And as you look around you in all directions, not too far into the distance, there are thick walls of fog that immediately summon the memory of the miss in your mind.
Are you sure we're still in the feywild?
I thought so. Maybe not.
Something's not quite right. The mist in the distance.
What's wrong with it? It's mist. I don't know. I'm still learning a lot about the mists, even though we've been here for how long? Yes, we've been here a long time.
A while. It just doesn't feel right. It's almost one of those out of place type of things, if that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense because in my mind, I keep wanting to wake up and see home.
I know that feeling all too well. Speaking of home, do you still have the box from the tomb?
Of course.
All right, just wanted to make sure with everything going hazy every so often. I just want to make sure we're not losing that. It's important.
True.
Desmond, when she mentions the box, you feel it almost tingles a little bit. It's almost like it almost feels like an absence. Here in the Feywild, there's it is very powerfully alive, you know, even though this place feels a little disjointed, there is still just almost like a thrumming energy of this place, like it has its own heartbeat. And around that box, it is almost like that vibration ceases.
I just kind of pull it out and just,
What's wrong?
it's like here, being here feels like energy, like the forest in its best, at its best existence. But there's a vibration I feel from everything except this box.
Wait, hold it up for a moment.
Just holds it up.
And she'll like put her hand and sort of like hover it over the box to see if she senses anything happening to her form.
Nika, you immediately recall some of the stories that your grandmother told you about the Raven Crown. She usually kind of put it off as a thing that you'll understand one day. I'll tell you when you're older type thing. But you do know it is almost like a battery of sorts. Like it holds, or can be made to hold, vast amounts of energy.
Oh. So that's what she meant.
What's what she meant?
Well, you remember grandmother. She always had her little stories and fairy tales. Very grandiose and magical and everything like that. And the crown, it has a means of sort of drawing power, drawing essence, sort of storing it too. Maybe that's what's happening here, because there's so much here. And if there's nothing in it, maybe it's absorbing.
It's just absorbing and storing the power of the Feywild.
Yes.
For what?
Well, that's the question then, isn't it?
It really is.
And as you all stand here, looking off into the distance of this strange land, you can't shake that odd feeling in the back of your mind that the crown is somehow doing something, which I'm sure is going to be fine. I wouldn't even worry about it. But for everyone else, hello and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 29, The Beginning of the End. This is our penultimate episode ahead of our finale. We will be dark next week, actually next Thursday the 11th. We may still air something in this place. We have to work that out, but we will not be live. But our finale for the year is going to be on November 18th. We will return at some point in December for a holiday episode, but we're setting up something here that is about to pay off that I am looking forward to. Maybe something I set in motion in episode 1 is going to pay off. Who can tell? But start paying attention to every little clue now, because we're definitely nearing the end game. Before we get started, even though we are here in the Feywild, which all things being equal is a brighter, happier place than the Mists, this is still a horror story. As such, there is still potentially disturbing content, the likes of which you're not used to seeing in a normal game, like you're not used to not seeing the entire cast. There's everyone's beautiful faces. As always, I am aware of everyone's lines and veils. We have a safety system in place where they can communicate with me if something comes up that is disturbing them. If so, a scene might stop just right mid-scene, mid-sentence, and we will go on to the next thing. Before we dive into our sponsors, let's introduce you beautiful people, starting with who you are and who you're playing, and we can begin with the two of you who we have already seen, welcoming back our guest, Veronica.
Hi everyone, I'm V Muse. You can find me here every so often for the Black Dice Society. You can also find me every Friday for Paint and Slay over on Codename Entertainment Games on Twitch at 12 p.m. where I'm painting some minis. And tonight I am playing Veronica. She is a ghosty girl, druid Eladrin, and our pronouns are both she and her.
And Desmond.
Oh, hi, I'm DJ. I play video games on the internet and not really well, but tonight I play Desmond, human ranger, lycanthrope, just all around just fan of the forest. You're awesome. Thanks for being here. Our pronouns are he, him, and you can find me pretty much everywhere at DJ Knight on the internet.
The sweetest boy. Maybe he just only wanted tummy scritches. Maybe all he wanted was snuggles, and all he's getting is struggles.
I mean, sometimes you get the snugs, sometimes you get the strugs. You just don't get to choose which you get.
That's true. That's profound.
He's just making it work.
I need to get that as a tattoo. Yeah. Valentine.
Oh, hello. My name is Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage or Pixel Circus everywhere on the internet. And tonight I am Valentine. Valentine is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And Tatiana.
Hello, I am Tatiana, Air Genasi Barbarian, Circle of Moon Druid, with a new druid sense about me today. And I'm Becca Scott. You can find me at the Becca Scott, and you can find all of my videos on YouTube at Good Times Society. She, her pronouns for me, and Tatiana.
And Finn.
Hello, I'm Tanya DePass, playing Finn, your drow dumpier blood hunter with a little bit of beast and maybe feeling a lot more magical after her adventures last time. And you can find me everywhere as Cypher of Tyr, both here on the internet, other shows, just Cypher of Tyr, that's how you find me. And she are for both Finn and myself.
And Nahara.
Hi everyone, I'm Nora Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere at Norological, and I stream TTRPGs on multiple networks. My pronouns are she, her, as is my character Nahara, who is a reborn Fallen Azamar undead warlock with now officially a College of the Spirit bard here for all your Taroka deck needs.
And last but certainly not least, Brother Uriah.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of the Grave and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists. And this weekend, of course, is in 7 days. So if you're a Mass Effect fan, you can go over to streamly.com/markmeir and get a signed Mass Effect print from me. Also, I should mention, Brother Uriah will be wearing glasses because I'm between contacts.
A fey contraption that, Lori Weathermay Foxgrove gave him last time you were there to help you see into the realm of spirits.
It's true. It's true.
As always, thank you to our sponsors that make this possible. I must apologize to all of you in advance. I was completely remiss and did not get my Idle Champions code set up in time. I literally just sent them a message. Maybe we can pull off a small miracle and get it here before the episode's over, in which case I will give it to you. If not, I apologize. 100% on me this time. But as always, thank you to Die Hard Dice. You can still get the Black Dice Society sets of Die Hard Dice there, of our dice from Die Hard Dice. You can also use code BDS to get 10% off of any of the other incredible things that you might invest in there. Thank you to Warriors of Waterdeep. As you make your way through the game, maybe you'll see some of these faces up on posters in prints, maybe wanted signs there. You can there's a link coming in now in chat, so you can get a chest for Warriors of Waterdeep. Our TeePublic store is live. Of course, you can get shirts, masks, bags. Again, as I'm going back into the world now and I rock my Black Dice Society mask, people are always like, wow, that's cool. Actually, people that don't know the art are like, is that you on your mask? And I'm like, yes, it is. Like, yo, dog, yo, I heard you like my face. I put my face on my face, but also all of their faces on my face. But you can get one that or lots of other dope things at our TeePublic store. Secret Lab chairs, again, I love mine. It's like riding around on the couch. I spend more time here than anywhere but my bed, and it is ultra comfy, and I am not a small person, and so it is very, very good for me in particular. But they have all kinds of different models, and they just released some new ones. They released a really cool desk too, so take a look at that. Also, again, we have a few more of our Black Dice Society art prints. You can get your museum quality art print. So maybe you want it on your face, maybe you want it on your wall. Some of us do both, but you know, I think I'm a super fan. I was the first Black Dice Society fan. So anyone that you invest in, anytime somebody buys one, we make a donation to World Builders. So you will not just be buying something good, you'll be doing some good and helping end world hunger. I've put !BDS art in the chat, you can see that. Also, we have a Patreon. Thank you, patrons. You literally make it possible to do what we do. We have DM tips from me. We have side adventures with every one of these beautiful people. Have done other things that happened to their character. Last month, we put up another one with Brother Uriah and Mangata going out and experience a non-linear time adventure together. We have bonus episodes, including our full-length episode, the Morning Rail, which was our Eberron crossover. We did The Nightmare Lands, which was a lot, was also up there. We have our exclusive Patreon after show, where every week we get together and they talk about what's going on and what they think is happening. And then they thought they started feeding me too many good ideas, which I don't know what you're talking about. So then I started taking my headphones off while they talk amongst themselves about what's going on. So soon we're going to find out to what extent were they correct in certain machinations that maybe have been bubbling this whole entire time. So take a look. And we appreciate your support at patreon.com/The Black Dice Society. And with that, let's go on with our show. one last thing before we dive back into this. We've spent our last few episodes here in the Feywild going through some of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight content. This book is incredible, and the content is incredible, and there is so very much that we just barely scratched the surface of, and unfortunately, due to the constraints of our season, I'm gonna have to fast track some aspects of it here going through to the end. But I highly recommend this. If you get a chance to play this at your table, it's just magnificent. And some of the things they did in the Feywild, we could have spent another 40 episodes just doing this. So highly recommended. As you all are standing here high above this broken causeway in the land of Hither, you've now been blessed by the presence of Nika as you are walking down the causeway. Nika, there in the distance, a few feet behind them as they're walking, you could swear there's a bush, like a shrub, waving at you very enthusiastically as you walk.
That's Herb. That's Herb. Very nice fellow.
Hey, Herb?
Hi, hello, miss. Yes, enjoy your time in Hither. And might I say, do you look radiantly lovely today?
Well, thank you, Herb. Nice to leave you.
You're funny too. Yes. No, please. I wish we could continue our conversation, but I am both literally and figuratively rooted to the spot. So, but maybe if you pass back through, I'd love to make your acquaintance sometime.
Noted.
Nahara, as you are also making your way through, you feel a presence around you, similar to when Granny was around, and you knew that there were just ambient spirits manifesting around her. You start to feel something similar. Not necessarily to the power and scope that she had, but you get the distinct impression that you were not alone.
Does it pull me in a certain direction?
You still were feeling that tug essentially straight ahead, more or less straight north in Hither. This is more, they're just around you. Similar to the cloud of fireflies was hanging around Tatiana earlier.
Are you there? I say slightly out loud to myself.
Me? What were you?
Oh,
were
no.
You asking? I am here. If that's what you were asking.
Great. Oh no, I was just
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Brother Uriah, as a cleric of the grave, you also have some insight into the next world. You're also aware that there's just a presence around Nahara that was not there before. It doesn't feel malevolent. It's just she has almost an audience, a following that you can't see, but you definitely can feel.
Does this register to my eyes of the grave? Of course, Nahara herself would, being undead, but does this other presence register as undead?
As you activate your eyes of the grave, of course, Nahara and Valentine shimmer into being faintly. Voronika very powerfully so. This, whatever is near her, it registers as undeath, but very, very faintly. And you detect no maliciousness.
Yes, there does seem to be something. A visitor? An observer?
I think so. It just kind of feels, you know that feeling when you feel like you're being watched?
Yes.
That, only not so terribly creepy, just sort of creepy.
B. Dave, does this presence register as being physically present? My eyes of the grave would tell me like if it's actually physically there.
Yes, something is actually here. A number of small somethings. It's like, imagine if she had perhaps like a small flock of birds that were flitting about her that are invisible to your eye. So that scale, essentially.
I'm actually going to spend a spell slot and detect good and evil. So that will give me not only undead, but also fiends, fae.
It's like the Disneyland electric parade. All around you is all of this crackles with fae. Just, it's difficult to see past it. It's blinding, the energy of the fae in this place.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes, it's just.
Do you see anything?
I see a bit too much, I think. I'm afraid that's all I'm able to discern at the moment. There's a bit of, shall we say, interference from the surroundings.
I see. I feel all right, I suppose. Do I feel different?
You feel comforted by this presence. It just sort of feels right.
Well, I don't know exactly what it is, but I suppose you kind of get that feeling like whatever you're supposed to be doing you are doing it right now. So that at least gives you comfort,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Yes, I suppose it does. I have to admit, I'm somewhat troubled myself.
What's
Last
wrong?
night, I feel my connection to Ezra deepening, but it's very odd. Spells have sprung to my mind unbidden. Spells that I know I could access if I wanted to, but what they say about the nature of Ezra herself, I have a strong sense that if I wished to, I could reach out and drain the life force from someone else and draw it into myself.
Oh my goodness.
It's a new spell I've accessed recently. And again, it's not one I specifically sought out, but yes.
That sounds terrible, but I would very much like to see it at some point.
Well, I'm not sure if we shall have to see.
I don't know how that would work on me. Please don't try it on me.
I never would. I certainly not. Not you.
Well, I am glad that you feel a stronger connection to Ezra. That's at least comforting as well.
I suppose. I suspect we'll all need all of our strength for what lies ahead.
It's very strange being in a lovely place and feeling a sense of dread at the same time.
Yes, but not the familiar dread, thankfully.
Right.
Nika, as you're sort of taking all of this in and your eyes fall on your friends Valentine and Tatiana, you see as Valentine is walking, the plants and just grass that has grown up through the cracked and broken cobblestones of this causeway die with every step she takes. And Tatiana seems to be surrounded by a cloud of fireflies that she's playing with like very happily. And you can detect, Voronika, knowing your own connection to the wild, Tatiana's has gotten much stronger.
No, you're it. Yeah, no, you're it. No, you got me.
For all those times you thought that being a druid was not so much fun, you certainly found it.
Well, You know, sometimes when you're thinking she's worshipping trees, it doesn't look as fun. But if you can play tag with fireflies, oh, it's a new game I made up. I call it tag.
Try with dragonflies next time.
Mhm.
They're even more fun.
Valentine, why don't you play with us? Go tag Valentine.
Maybe let them keep chasing you for now.
I think the fireflies die as they touch Valentine.
This place does not agree with me.
I'm noticing. What about you? How are you feeling?
Wrong. This isn't. I don't know. I don't agree with this place either. And Valentine is definitely kind of like having a hard time making eye contact with Nika's like incorporeal kind of form.
Something's on your mind. You don't look at me when you're thinking about something you're keeping more to yourself that maybe you shouldn't.
It's hard to see you like this, Nika.
It's not exactly easy being like this. It's not exactly a good thing knowing what you're all going through because of it.
And I know it's selfish to treat you differently because of it. But I was raised a selfish woman.
You
Nika,
have to
don't
explain
say it's
yourself.
on. Do not feel badly. It's not happening to you. It's happening to all of us because you are one of us.
But still, you've all been drawn into machinations of others, and it doesn't sit well with me. Not to sound unappreciative.
I
do
don't think you should
appreciate it.
have bad thoughts in this place. I mean, I know you're incorporeal and all, but just saying.
Nika, roll a d8 for me, please.
A D8?
Mm-hmm.
7.
As you all are talking, a huge raven flits down and lands on a tree and looks at the three of you talking and just said, "Ah, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, ah."
Great, now we've made the birds sad.
It's a mockingbird.
Is it true, bird? Do you mock?
I hate this place.
It's hilarious. Look how sad they both are.
No, sorry, I just don't want to think sad thoughts. It's not that I'm laughing at you.
I would like to finish whatever it is we have to do here and get as far away from it as possible.
No problem. We just have to find mom. I mean, Zimbilna.
What?
Did you just say mom?
Well, she's kind of like all of our moms in a way because she was there when all of us were kids. And I don't know, I've been thinking of her as mom.
Careful how you think of the Fae there.
But all these years, she's never hurt us. I mean, all of us have good memories. How could she be bad?
I feel like that answers itself.
Finn.
I don't think I should walk around this place saying I'm looking for Mother.
No.
Finn.
Oh,
No, go ahead, Nahara.
As while all this is going on, I do want to just take a moment to myself to try to listen to these, whatever it is that's surrounding me.
Give me perception with advantage.
Okay. Ooh, nice. Let's see what I add to that. 21.
Is you sort of like tune in a little bit, it's like you hear whispers, like they're trying to tell you something. but just intermittently. You think maybe if you were to concentrate on it, you might be able to make some sense of it. But you remember that Granny told you something similar, that the spirits talk to her, the spirits do things for her, they're friends.
All right. And when I had asked if anybody was there, I didn't hear anything back.
Not at the time, but Brother Uriah started talking, and you realize maybe they were talking, and you just couldn't hear them over him. It's very faint.
So I just kind of will take a moment to sneak away to try to see if I hear anything.
You absolutely know that they're following after you. And after a couple of minutes, you very clearly hear, like she's whispering in your ear, Granny's voice. It seems you've grown in power, my girl. That is lovely to see.
Did you do this?
Oh, no, you did this.
Interesting. All right.
Would you like to know a secret?
Always.
The spirits are always about, child. They're always whispering and tugging and attempting to make their presence known. Usually, the living ignore them completely, at least until they're so filled with rage and grief that they just explode back his hideous abominations and monsters. But most of the spirits are quite tame, quite docile. They only wish to serve. You have gained their attention, but more importantly, you've learned how to perceive them. Believe me, you have no idea the power that comes along with it.
So are you saying that they're here to serve me?
So it would seem. What would you have them do?
Well, I'd very much like to see what they can do.
You get the distinct feeling that Granny is standing next to you. Recall, she physically appeared mere moments ago in front of everyone, but she disappeared just as quickly. Now you don't see her, you just feel her presence. Ask them to tell you a story. The next time you're confronted with a challenge, perhaps a foe, an adversary, rather than just doing what you normally would do, perhaps ask the spirits to intervene. You might be amazed by the results.
All right. And I suppose since they're always around that they will always hear me?
They will. And the stronger your voice echoes, as you grow in power, the more will respond and more powerfully. But, oh, wait, we may have a problem, child. My sister is on the move.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, my sister Bavlorna Blightstraw. She rules over hither. She normally does not depart her castle, but apparently you all have gained her attention. You should steel your resolve. Remember what I told you about her allergy.
Remind me, DM, about what her allergy is.
She's allergic to anyone running in widdershins.
To anyone running?
Widdershins, girl.
Oh,
You feel
that's
like
right.
you feel a tap on your forehead. She's like,
Right.
You must unlearn that Faerunian nonsense. Things work very differently in the Feywild. That, who is that spectral woman there? I find her presence off-putting.
Do you mean Veronica?
Veronica. I know this name.
We're trying to help her out of this predicament.
Death is her predicament?
Yes?
I must go look into something. I shall return forthwith. Beware my sister. She is treacherous. And you feel like that presence is gone.
I go back to find Uriah. I feel like we should get going.
Oh yes, we're on the way to Bibi. Is that
Yes.
correct? That's what we're calling her, right? We're not supposed to say her name. Yes. There was also that odd conveyance, like a ship, but it was in the air and it crashed in the same direction. We should see if anyone
That's
needs
right.
help.
Yes.
Finn,
Yes.
the last thing you remember is departing the mist with the horsemen. There's a brief glimpse of flashes of the Witchlight Carnival. You're pretty sure you were back there, at least for a moment, but it's hazy. But now you find yourself waist deep in mud. And tall trees are over you, casting thick shadows, and beyond that, up high overhead, you can see what looks like a large bridge, a causeway, which is broken and shattered, where big chunks of it are missing. But you are down in a very deep and stinky swamp.
Oh boy. And I know if I struggle, it'll just be worse.
That is true.
Is there anywhere I can throw my sword and try to pull myself out if I can embed my sword in a tree or something?
Give me a survival check.
And I have advantage on survival. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Nat 20.
Hey, I'm going to say with a 20, you absolutely understand what you need to do to get out of this place. This is not the first time you've slipped into mud, and you basically are able to, through a combination of, wriggling and throwing your sword and just kind of adjusting yourself carefully, you easily extricate yourself out of this mud with a loud noise.
I'm breaking character to give you a look. You did not have to make that noise.
I did, and I did it for you, and I did it for Sage. I saw that face.
I liked it.
I'm gonna see you in a couple weeks.
I just know Tanya and Sage are always gonna be a no. Becca and Abria are always gonna be a yes. That's it. I can just come right over the plate and know I'm gonna have a 50% approval rating. Yep.
Well, Abria ain't here, so you 50.5.
I will enjoy it doubly for her.
Bad, because I also am not. I'm not against it.
Thank you.
Sorry, please don't hate
Okay.
me.
Boom.
I like chaos. I'm sorry.
However, you are able to pull yourself out of the mud. I will also give you with that survival two things. Something is absolutely heading your direction, and something very, very large is already close to you, but it's not moving.
Oh boy. Can I tell what direction the thing is approaching from?
From the north.
I'm gonna go south because I'm by myself. I may be tough, but I'm not a fool.
Give me either stealth or another survival.
Oh, not stealth. Not that. Oh no, I take that back. I will take stealth, but I don't get advantage on it.
Mm-hmm.
16.
As you are moving, you catch a glimpse through the bushes at a large bird. A bird that is probably twice the size of a man. It looks just like a big white crane that is covered in mud for it's down in the swamp, and is eyeing the water warily, and then just snaps its beak out and pulls a crocodile as big as you are out of the water and swallows it down.
Well, I was going to help the bird. I don't want to be dinner.
As you go moving through here, a voice echoes in all directions. No point in trying to escape. I just wish to talk.
Who or what are you?
Finn, you are 1,000% sure it was coming from the north when you turned south. You know it was coming from the north.
Mm-hmm.
But directly ahead of you to the south, you see something horrible. You see a woman with a toad-like face and a mouth that magically widens and elongates. Her bulging eyes move independently, constantly scanning her surroundings. Stained and moldering patchwork garments hide much of her leathery, mummified flesh that stretches over her compact frame and extraordinarily long, spindly limbs. She is riding on the back of what looks like a lily pad that is floating in the air. And it's like trails of stalks that just reach down to the ground. And 4 or 5 very small creatures that look like little frogmen are sitting on the lily pad, and she's holding a staff that has crystals dangling from it. You are not from here. I did not say you could come.
I don't want to be here. I don't even know where here is.
We are in hither.
Great. Let me know how to leave.
Are you trying to offend me?
No, but I was trying to find my friends. I'm not trying to be here.
Your friends, I believe they're up there. Would you like my help getting to them?
What's the cost?
You are intelligent after all. I will ask a favor.
Now or later?
At your convenience. I would like you to kill one of my sisters. I don't care which one. I hate them both. As her eyes twist and dart.
Who are your sisters, and why exactly do you want them killed?
Indolin Moongrave and Skabatha Nightshade. I had to split Prismere with them when Zabilna entered into dispose. If one of them were to die, I could annex her portion of Prismere as well.
So 2 questions. The obvious one, where do I find them? And are they as powerful as you? Because I'm not trying to die.
They are in thither and yon. They may not be as powerful as me, of course, but they are not without their tricks. I'm sure your friends would assist you in this matter. Or I could just swallow you now. And you see her jaw extends down almost as far as her chest. And you realize you would easily fit in her mouth.
Fine. I just want out of here.
We have an accord. You see the lily pad extends out under your feet, Finn, and begins to rise straight up into the air. All the rest of you, as you're walking down the bridge, up ahead of you in one of these broken sections, a lily pad rises up with the creature described and a very dirty fin.
Well,
I know I'm filthy, Uriah. You don't have to be that way.
no, what's that?
Don't be rude, Uriah.
She knows your name.
Oh, God,
Be cool, be
serious.
cool.
I mean, lovely to make your acquaintance.
Finn, she motions for you to be able to step off the lily pad. A deal is a deal.
A deal?
Yeah.
Deal with it, Finn. You haven't
deal?
You haven't entered into a bargain with this individual, have you?
Yes, I'll tell you later. Once I'm clean, where are we?
I'm gonna try and make a telepathic link with Fen and just be like, should we kill this thing?
If you think we could take her.
I think you would be much more qualified to answer that. I've only just met her.
Well, she opened her jaw wide enough to swallow me whole. In whatever magic she's got, she has this floating lily pad. But she mentions Zybilna like half the other people we've run into lately. He wants me to kill one of her sisters that have these other lands. We're in Hither, I think she said.
Oh.
I want to nudge Nahara and
I'm gonna send out as much of that as I can to the rest of the group.
Hang on, put one pin in that real quick, Tatiana. Valentine, give me insight. And Finn, you could give me insight also.
Uh, 16?
16.
That is a dirty 20.
Finn, you're nothing if not a hunter. If she thinks you can take her sisters, you probably can take her. Whether or not you want to take her, but you're like, I mean, the 6 or 7 of us, probably. You know, whether or not it's worth it, that's a different question. But she's probably in you guys are probably in the right weight class.
Uriah is utterly terrified by the sight of her, and he's going to try to surreptitiously start moving counterclockwise.
has Nahara shared any of the information? Like, have any of us heard the word Widdershins?
Uriah has.
Well, Granny said that in front of all of you last time. So yeah, you would have Granny told you all that when she was physically.
That is why I nudged Nahara. I too run in counterclockwise circles.
Yeah, as soon as Tatiana nudges me, I'm like, oh right.
I will do the same.
Is you all start running in counter
Rather floating.
For floating, moving in counterclockwise directions. You see, she looks at you and says, "What are you doing?" And a huge phlegmy sneeze slaps to the ground. And the lily pad sinks to the ground. And she falls to her knees. Stop! I can't.
Oh, she's literally allergic to it.
I cast Entangle on her.
What is the save on Entangle?
Great question for me to have already had the answer ready for. Entangle. Got it here. Okay, the save, strength. 13.
You see the vines come up and her wiry muscles just snap out of them almost immediately, Tatiana. And she looks at you and she says, "You will..." And you notice it's like the spell doesn't happen. Like she's trying to concentrate and can't. Like, however, she does seem like her jaw starts to open and her claws start to extend. And all of you roll initiative.
Yeah! My goodness.
For our fight, can I finally do the thing I asked you about earlier?
Real talk, I don't know what that thing is, and the answer is yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, I don't know what you're asking me, and yes,
No,
you can.
basically using the other thing I classed into.
Yes, you absolutely can. Just give me just a second here. Hold on a second. You gotta get.
Excellent is all I'm gonna say. I don't know what it is, but I get the feeling it's excellent, and I'm excited to see what happens.
I just figured you might want a narrative way to explain this, but okay.
You know, send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me here in the Zoom.
Which one?
Either. I'll see either. I have it set up right this time. Okay. Perfect. Sorry, I'm just getting my initiative document here. All right, Desmond, what you got?
4.
Hey, Nika.
19.
Hey, Valentine.
10.
And Nahara.
14.
And Tatiana.
3.
Well, you're very working really hard at running counterclockwise during all of this.
That's right.
Uriah.
Nat 20.
Hey, and Finn.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so I'm gonna put her groovy. Let me arrange this here. Well, Uriah, you are going to be first, so you can be telling me what you're doing while I'm arranging here.
Right. Calling upon Ezra and the new, deeper connection I have to the goddess, I cast Magic Circle around Bibi. I will reverse it so it's keeping her in the circle rather than keeping things out.
Perfect.
So she's essentially trapped. She cannot leave the circle by any non-magical means.
I do believe she has a save against that, though, does she not?
No, it actually, if she tried to teleport or use interplanar travel, she would get to make a charisma saving throw. But because she, non-magically, like she cannot step out of it, she cannot move out of it.
Ironically, yes, and then she's got a disadvantage to attack out of it, right?
Yeah, disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets outside. She also cannot be charmed, possessed, or frightened by her.
Ironically enough, I was going to use Magic Circle for the first time in my life this past Sunday, and it didn't come up. So here we are again, Cleric Bros. Hey, because that also was a Grave Cleric. You all, what does Ezra's circle look like, or what does Uriah's circle look like when it shimmers into being?
Essentially, it is a 10-foot radius cylinder, and where it interacts with the ground, runes and sigils glow in the blue light of Ezra, springing into vision as it makes contact with the ground.
You see she lashes out, and as she hits it, like a wall of light appears that burns her mottled flesh. And she just goes, "How dare you! How dare all of you!"
I'm using my move for that round to continue moving in a counterclockwise circle.
Perfect. All right, hang on a second here.
And you know what? Actually, as a bonus action, I summon a spiritual weapon right beside her.
Hey.
And it hits her.
You know, have a spiritual bonk. Yep.
So that's going to be upcast. And so it will do... oh, yeah, it has to make an attack roll.
Yep.
That's a 25 to hit.
More than enough.
And it will do... Sorry, hold on. 17 points of damage.
What is your weapon? What does his spiritual weapon look like when it appears?
It is the Sword of Ezra, which materializes it basically materializes on his shield where the image of the sword is, and then flies out and attacks her.
Perfect. Finn, is you are watching all of this take place, and again, Finn is not unaware of the how alive this place is, which is complicated for you for a lot of reasons. You feel a cold chill go down your spine as a new power that you did not have access to before, and from the swamp below, a cloud of bats just fly up like they're flying off into the night as you feel an answer to your inner plea.
And our friend is stuck down there with Ezra's circle, correct?
More specifically, she can't leave the circle. Yeah.
No,
And
that's all I needed to know.
And sneezing violently.
Ew. I'm going to take advantage of that and hit her with Eldritch Blast using this new power.
What does Finn's Eldritch Blast look like?
It is a dark crimson, and the beams look almost like they're barbed wire as they come from her hands.
Nice. Roll it.
2d10, or is it 1d10?
Well, roll to attack first.
Oh yeah, that would help, wouldn't it?
Got to see if you hit her. Yep.
Look, I'm new to this whole thing.
I get it. I will say, while Finn is doing this, you notice that between sneezes, every once in a while, she's coughing up whole people, like a halfling hits the ground and just lays there. Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh.
Her new powers agree with her. She got a 23.
Bavlorn is terrible. Yes, that is more than enough. More than enough.
I would like to invoke a line and a veil and anything else that I can invoke to get that image out of my head. But that's I'm not actually doing that. Yeah, that's.
I might.
Thank you for that image. Yeah,
that's my gift to you. It's my gift to you.
No, thank you. So just 1d10, but it's 2 beams.
Okay. Yeah. Then it's you. When it's 2 beams, it's 2 different attack rolls because you might still be able to crit on the next one.
Okay, then let me roll my other attack. Oh, that was a fail. That was only 8.
That is not enough. I'll say as she is coughing and retching, she's like convulsing wildly, and one of the beams goes wide. How much damage was that on the first one? Sorry.
Let me do that.
Okay.
Because 8.
All right. 8 points of damage. Hey, apparently, I'd just like to say shout out to Lauren Urban, y'all. She realized I had already made a mistake and had already taken care of the code on the back end, so it was all seamless. So apparently you do has an Idle Champions code, and if for some reason you don't, you can ask the mods, because theoretically they should be able to give it to you. Or if there's some disconnect, please let us know. But apparently it was taken care of. Shout out to Lauren Urban. She's the real hero. Perfect. All right. 8 points of damage. Again, you crack into her mottled flesh and it burns and stings. Nahara.
Okay, I am. How far away is she from?
10, 15 feet. She's close.
10, 15 feet. Okay, I'm going to take maybe 10 feet back.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
So she has to make a dex save.
Okay.
And if she's in that circle, is there any disadvantage on that?
That was Brother Uriah. I was going to ask you. There's nothing against Magic Circle. Doesn't do anything to saves, correct? Just attacks.
No, just attack rolls that she attempts to make through the circle.
Yeah, and you all do not have advantage on her. She's got disadvantage on you, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. Then
and actually, B-Dave, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to give her back 17 hit points because I would not have been able to cast that spiritual weapon, I realize. Because it's a concentration spell, and so is... Yeah,
got it.
So
Okay.
that did not happen. Sorry about that.
Well, good news is I won't make the magic circle drop. Like, ha, she's loose. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, then what's the save she needs to make there, Nahara?
14.
She does make it.
Okay, well, as a bonus action, I am going to call on those spirits that I feel around me, and see how they can help.
Perfect. So you are going to expend a use of Bardic Inspiration.
Yes.
And you are going to roll your Bardic Inspiration die for me.
Yes. So it's a D12, and that is a 10.
Okay. You're already a D12 Bardic Inspiration?
It's don't you have to? No. That's not my die. You have to roll a D12.
No, you roll your Bardic Inspiration die. As your Bardic Inspiration die gets bigger, you can do the stronger things on the list.
Oh, I see. I misread that. I apologize.
Nope, it's fine.
Okay.
So just roll whatever that is.
3.
Nahara, you see 2 spirits appear that look at each other and they just are like very happy, and they walk up and they just like hug each other like a reunion, like, you know, like kind of hold each other's shoulders, like, you know, let me get a look at you, like, wow, you look great. You realize they're telling you a tale of beloved friends. You and another target within that you can see will gain temporary hit points equal to 3 plus your charisma modifier, as by the bonds of friendship make you stronger.
Ooh, okay. Then seeing as how I missed Fen since she has just met up with us, so I'm going to give Fen 6 temporary hit points.
Perfect. 6 temp, Finn. You feel yourself get stronger, and you actually, when Nahara focuses her attention towards you, you see this, Finn. You see these 2 spirits that are just like, oh, hey, hi, how you doing? And you get this warm sense of connectedness with Nahara.
Oh, yay.
Excellent. Anything else from Nahara?
No. That will be it for me.
All right, Valentine. She is coughing, retching, choking, and vomiting up dead sentience.
Excellent. I hate this place. I'm going to cast Erupting Earth. And from the ground, it looks more like the tentacles that come out of my eyes to come up and shake and crack out of the dying earth around me. And that is a dex save of 14.
Also, this is very metal, and I'm for it.
Thank you.
She does not make it.
Excellent. Let me roll that. That's 4d12s of damage.
Whew.
That's 25 points of damage, and then I am going to quicken it to a bonus action, so I can also use a cantrip, or I'll quicken the cantrip to a bonus action rather. So Perfect. I will also throw a firebolt at her.
Absolutely. Roll it.
All right. Let's see. Using digital dice tonight. Let's see what that's about. Okay, that is an 18 to hit.
That is enough.
Whew. All right, that will be 11 points of damage.
Perfect.
11 additional for a total of 36 this round.
You all see these tentacles come out and erupt and begin to choke. I made a mistake, Nika. I apologize. Your name got erased when I was copy pasting. So you should have gone after Finn, but you're still going to go ahead of her. So, Nika, what would you like to do as these black tentacles come up out of the ground? I'm going to say, Valentine, they're like dead and dying and decrepit roots. That it's like as they come up are wrapping around her.
Oh, Nika's seeing what's going on with lovely BB stuck in her circle, and she's actually going to spin her finger counterclockwise, and the leaves and the trees start to open up, and this pale silver beam shoots down and centers itself right over BB, and she's casting Moonbeam on her.
Does she get a save?
Con save on her start of her turn. If she moves into the circle, but she's not.
Well, she
moving,
can't
and that
leave.
is
Yeah.
No, she can't.
But nothing when you do it. Only at the start of her turn.
When her turn starts, she then will take 2d radiant damage if she fails her con save, or half that.
Well, let's go ahead and resolve that now because I've already rolled and
Sure.
she already failed, and it's about to be her turn.
Okay, that's 12 radiant damage.
Okay. Perfect. Hold on a second here. My 12 radiant. Okay. Right. Just looking up something real quick. Anything else from Nika there?
Nope, that's it.
Nika, she looks at you in Sylvan, which I believe Desmond understands as well now, not counting who else might understand Sylvan. Says, "You are a traitor to your own kind. Your grandmother deserved what she got."
Or perhaps it's the other way around.
Um,
And that's in Sylvan. She'll reply in Sylvan.
all of
Right,
oh, wait, go ahead, Desmond.
right after she says that, Desmond just, in Sylvan, just agreed.
You see, she looks at you and bares her fangs too, but it is a lot different when you're in the state that she's in. However, all of you give me perception checks.
19.
11.
16.
16, 11, 16,
14.
21.
21. Anybody else get higher than 16 besides Finn?
Nope, that's an 11.
Actually, let's see if Tregram notices. Tregram does notice, actually. Valentine, you hear Tregram say in your mind, Valentine, minor problem, just tiny one. You look at what she's doing. Valentine, watch out for what she's doing. And Valentine, you and Finn notice something the others don't see. Those two little frog-like people stand up, and they're both 1 foot tall duplicates of her. And they both shimmer and just vanish. Like, you see, they're moving so quickly, it is very hard to pin them down. The two of you are aware they're there. For the rest of you, it's like they're there, and then they're just not there. Finn and Valentine know they're just moving really, really, really fast.
Oh boy.
Brother Uriah, what is your AC?
It is 18. And sorry, I am full of bad information tonight. She will take that 17 points of damage from the spiritual weapon because magic circle is not concentration. I was thinking of protection from evil.
You are correct that it is not concentration. However, you cannot cast the two spells in the same round. I wasn't going to go overly neck-beardy. So you can't do it, but for different reasons.
But for different reasons,
yeah.
yeah.
So, right. So we still got to the same place.
We got to the same place.
What was that AC? Sorry, Brother Uriah?
18.
Ooh. Oh, Brother Uriah, you feel just a barrage of what are like pinprick stab wounds all over you. They are all going just like everywhere in between where your armor meets your skin. Everywhere there is a chink in the chainmail just stabbing at you. And you can see these two little versions of her are all over you, just moving faster than you can see. You get hit 6 times. One of them was a crit. So I need 6 concentration checks to see if you keep up the magic circle.
Oh, it's not concentration.
Oh, hey, well, GG. Never mind.
Yeah, but I take that. I better take a bunch of damage.
You are going to take a bunch of damage. So that
Oh, boy. Okay.
that is going to be, hold on a second here. I got too many calculators. Want to make sure I'm mathing correctly here. Brother Uriah, you take. Also, it's calculator, not clock. I'm doing a nervous. 56 points of damage.
Ooh. Brother Uriah falls to the ground.
You all immediately see it's like, and he just drops.
I assume this. Actually, this it's not a concentration spell, so I think it just stays up.
If it's not a concentration, I'm going to say it stays in place. You see inside the hole, Bevlarna just still, because Tatiana, you said you were moving in reverse also, right?
That's right.
Or Wittershins. She looks, she's like,
I also was.
And you see she tries to cast a spell, and when the magic won't come, she just attacks you, Finn, somewhat ineffectively, though. What is your AC?
15.
She. Let's see here. Finn, you see she's not trying to claw at you so much as grab you, and you see her jaw open. And she's like, we had a deal, but she can't quite get to you because every time she's reaching, the circle is like lighting up and crashing into her and like holding her in place.
And I'm just like, I wasn't the one that attacked you.
However, it is still very difficult to see where these two tiny duplicates of her are, that they seem to have scattered once they've dropped Brother Uriah. However, it is Desmond's turn. Desmond, give me another perception check.
Oh, yay. I'm now concerned.
Actually, well, hold on a second. You can give me perception or you can give me survival.
Let's see. I mean, I have the same benefit to both. I got 13.
You're aware these things are here, but it's like you can't pin them down. Like they're so fast. But it's very clear where she is.
Childish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on her.
Mm-hmm.
And then push toward where Brother Uriah is.
Mm-hmm. He's close to you. I mean, you were all kind of walking side by side when all this went down, so.
Yeah, I just want to be able to, I want to track her since I can't see the little mini hers. I can see her.
Right.
And I definitely want to try to help Brother Uriah on my next turn.
Okay.
And then he pulls out his short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of braces.
You could attack with your. You can still attack. I mean, you could attack her and still be within range of Brother Uriah. This is all kind of happening pretty close.
Okay, cool. I figured it was like, all right, let's just get ready for the next wildness. So if that's the case, then perfect. I am swinging with the short sword.
Okay. Is this the short sword that normally would have Nika in it?
I thought she was in a long sword.
I'm asking. I'm not telling. Yeah, this
is the other one.
Okay, great. No problem.
I did not want to swing with the weapon that Nika is in while Nika is in battle.
Got it. Not the Nika sword. Dig it. Okay.
Exactly. And that was 19 to hit.
That is enough.
Perfect. And that is a 6. I'm double checking a thing.
After Desmond is Tatiana, by the way.
Okay, cool. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack. I just want to double check that because I was like, I feel like I benefit here. And I'm rolling 1d6.
Well, it's the sword damage plus 1d6, and you'll know where she is. Yep.
All right, so the damage was a 6, and the custom d6 is 5.
So what's the total?
11.
11. Excellent. You notice she is bleeding profusely here, but still up and fighting. And Tatiana?
Is she still inside the magic circle?
Yes, it does. Since it is not concentration, it does not drop when Brother Uriah falls unconscious.
And can I pass through the magic circle?
Yeah, you can harm her at will. She just can't. She can't come out.
Tatiana lands on the ground, tells the fireflies, not right now. And then starts doing that weird croaking thing that the witch was doing more and more, and her body expands. And as a bonus action, I will combat wild shape into a giant toad.
You absolutely can attack her, yes.
All right, and then I will jump into the magic circle and bite.
Make your attack. Are you going to try and swallow the swallower? Is that what's happening here?
I'm gonna swallow the swallower. 18 plus 4, 22.
That is more than enough.
Okay, and then I get 1d10 plus 2.
I'm going to say you actually can do this without... You will still benefit from the circle's protection, even though you're attacking her.
Oh, okay. So I rolled badly. That's 5 piercing damage plus poison damage.
Okay.
Which is just 3.
She is
5
not,
piercing, 3 poison, and the target is grappled. Needs a DC 13 to escape.
She is not immune to poison, and she does not escape your grapple. As you all watch Toadiana clamp down on her and is like shaking her around. As you are shaking her, she just says, and you already have an arm in your mouth, Tatiana. Like, I mean, you know where this is headed, you know? She just says, parlay, parlay, I can help you spare my life. Witch Light Monarch, I will tell you where the unicorn's horn is. It's what you seek.
I don't chomp any harder, but I keep her restrained.
Tell me.
I kind of look with my toady eyes towards everybody else, like, what are we doing?
We are not out of initiative. We're just talking here.
Strats.
No, we're just talking, but we are just talking. But Tatiana, you've definitely still got her. Like you got like kind of an arm sort of up to her shoulder. And I will say those super fast duplicates of her, both of you see them kind of stopped like 10 feet to either side of you. Like if they're at like 10 and 2, basically. But they stop moving for a second, and you can see the knives in their hands. And she's
Were
like,
they next to?
they're kind of away, just out of arm's reach of all of you, essentially. Like, they stop moving, kind of seeing how this is going to play out type thing. Unfortunately, Brother Uriah, I need you to give me a death save.
Death save coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 16.
That you do not go towards the light, Brother Uriah. You do not go towards the light.
Still unconscious. Still unconscious.
She just says, you all are here to restore the building, are you not? We are not such great fools.
Your words are useless to me.
I
My friend fights for his life.
I will tell you where the key to the prison is. The unicorn that mourns. She is the key. Spare my life. I will tell you.
You'll tell us anyway. You're near death. I'm sure of it. I can smell it. So tell us before I eat you myself.
With her one good arm, she points at Nika and she says, you are a child of the feywild. Give your word, I will be spared. I do not trust these outworlders. worlders. You are one of us.
Only if you make me a deal.
I feel dramatically Tatiana sort of she's working the lips up there. And she's like, we can make an accord. I do not wish to die like this.
If anybody opens up message, I just say, but I'm hungry.
You tell us where it is, and we move to your lands, and none of us get harmed by you or any of the creatures in your dominion.
I will escort you to thither myself. No harm will come to you here ever.
She'll look around to the others.
As the Witchlight Monarch, I demand you heal my friend.
I cannot access my power in this accursed circle.
I'll
Just
take
looks
the
at-
deal.
When you
Like
say
one false move, and then like I start moving counterclockwise.
when
Oh, did we stop? Because I was still moving.
yeah, no, keep doing it. You all immediately, all of you, see a vision of a lake, and there is a gorgeous white unicorn with a flaming red mane and a flaming red tail, like the light of the sunset were just made manifest. And it's walking, and it has its head held low, like it's very sad. And it looks up at the water, and you see the horn glows, and out of the water you see an image of another unicorn forms and walks towards it, like it's going to nuzzle her, but it just collapses back into the water, and she just heavily like and you hear Bavlorna say, the unicorn's sorrow was pivotal to our plan. I will take you to thither. Her horn is how you can freeze the Bildna. I would not lie under such circumstances.
Question: did I see this vision, or do I just continue to see the inside of my own eyelids?
I'm gonna say you're 1 foot into the next. Well, let me just ask: on your turn, did anyone intend to heal Uriah?
I did.
All right, because I mean we're quite. You're awake enough. We'll resolve the
Okay.
logistics of it. Somebody slaps a hand on your chest, Uriah, in time for you to wake up and see that.
Can they all do it at the same time, like it's the Fantastic Four
Yeah.
going in on the?
yeah, exactly.
I put my hand
And a
in, but
big
it does
orange
I
hand
can
nothing.
comes
touch
in.
you. I can just say something
It's
and you'll
more-
feel better.
It's morphin'
Kill
time.
him,
Yeah.
Mom.
No.
Save Uriah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, Valentine.
My hand's there.
No,
Useless.
No, Valentine. It's emotional healing. It's emotional
Yeah.
healing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, you're right. You observe that also. And she says, "Release me, cleric, and I will transport you now."
Well, have we secured all the promises we need from her? She won't harm us. Yes, she'll take us where we need to go. I mean, we really hold all the cards here. We could just get her to renounce any claim she has on this land.
We could.
I think it's a great idea.
Or Tatiana could just is that giant toad Tatiana? Yes, Tatiana could just eat her, I suppose, if she doesn't agree.
You have to promise not to harm anyone.
And
It's part of the deal.
and the renouncing of the claim on the land. Yes, Veronica, you know how things work here.
Fine. If Zabildna returns, she would reclaim it anyway. I once I escort you to thither, I will renounce my claim.
And no doing anything sneaky and telling anybody we're here.
They will feel a shift in Prismere, but I will not let them know what you intend.
Does she have any good stuff we could get as part of this deal as well?
I love the way you're thinking right now, Brother Uriah.
I'm
Dying
just
really
thinking,
did something
yeah.
great with you.
By the way, 23 points from me, Uriah.
Ooh, thank you.
It's like Tatiana is like a giant toad maw is like working its way up kind of like to her neck and things now, and she's sort of just like fumbling at trying to like push you off, but it's not enough, Tatiana.
The mouth is still clamped, but there's this tongue that's like exploring her head.
We have an accord. Yes, I swear it by the laws of the Fae. I will
We have
say,
an accord.
all of you give me perception checks.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Ooh,
20.
also dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
22 dirty.
That's more than enough, especially with you all
Okay.
kind of being in communication.
19.
27.
23.
27.
Yeah. All of you,
Nice.
all of
Wow.
you realize she doesn't have much left. I mean, she's cutting this deal because it's like the end is in sight, basically, and she knows it. So, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
And did we get the thing about never seeking retribution against any of us?
We already made the accord. Release me from the circle, and I will transport you hence.
Great. If you come back for retribution, then we'll kill you.
I'll eat you myself.
Any number of people in this party will eat you
No.
on sight.
When you say that, the tongue just goes over her face again.
Ah!
Absolutely swear it.
Is that what I've been doing to people all this time? Ah!
Don't act like you didn't know.
It's different when it happens to you.
Yeah. There's a lesson there. There's a lesson there for all of us, I think.
I spit her out.
And she's just like, there's just mucus all over her. And she, do you release the circle, Uriah?
Yes. As per the accord, I'll drop the circle.
She just stands up, and you see she grips the staff very much like she wants to keep fighting, but then she looks at Nika, and Nika, you do know a deal is a deal. And she's like, ah! And just slams the staff down on the causeway that you all are on. And you see in the ground, the overhead, the sky turns black, as you all have come to realize these lands resonate with emotion. Like the sky turns black, it gets cold. You hear wolves howling off in the distance as she's just like so angry. And Valentine, it is much better now. The causeway physically begins to turn and angles itself over till it butts right up against that wall of fog. And she points at it, and you see the fog parts. And on the other side, you see what looks like just a colorful, welcoming forest. Looks very beautiful. There you will find what you seek. You must locate the tree. Ask for Little Ivy.
Locate the
Little
tree.
Ivy.
Ask for
Little-
little ivy.
Little Oak. That is my mistake. Little
Oh,
Oak.
little oak.
Little oak.
Mm-hmm.
Also, while we're doing this, Uriah has also taken all the healing that everyone has been sending me in chat, and also spends a second level spell slot healing himself.
Perfect.
So he looks fine, except he's got all these little pinpoint blood stains all over all his clothes.
If her injury makes me happy, is there like a little bubble of like butterflies and sunshine?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
There's little cartoon birds are fluttering both around Nahara and Valentine for very different reasons. It's like suddenly this isn't so terrible, actually. You know? But they're really metal, like gray butterflies, Valentine. Like it's a mood though that come fly around you. Do you all go through the portal?
Sure.
Ready when you are.
I
Sure.
hop
As I
through
look
still
around.
as Toad.
As you stay as a toad. Is you all are going through, and she's standing over there, she says, "It doesn't matter. You will not succeed. And if you do, Zabilna will not thank you. Your efforts are fruitless."
We're alive. I could eat you right now for what you did to my friend.
It's all right, Desmond. I'm all right now. I'm sure that we won't have any further disagreements with BB.
We should have put in the accord that she wasn't allowed to be a pain about it.
You see those two little duplicates of her hop onto the lily pad, and she just turns and like looks at all of you, and she just says, "I renounce my claim on this land." And you see just a shockwave goes out through it, and the dark sky lightens up, and it's a lovely swampy day. And she just looks up, and it's like, "Ah!" And the lily pad floats back down off the causeway.
Just gonna minor illusion a smile on her face just to make me happy.
Nika, you are certain as she's descending, she's just staring daggers at you in particular as the lily pad descends down into darkness.
Nika will move forward so she's out of line of sight with everyone else and stare her down. And just for funsies, do some horrifying massage.
just lean off to the side as a
Her face, like these wisps of black start oozing from her eyes and wrapping around her face, and she becomes extremely gaunt, almost as what her body would look like if she had been left to rest after her death. And she just makes this dry hissing sound, and this long black tongue comes lashing out towards her.
And she descends quickly down into the depths. And that is a good place for us to take a little break. However, I do have our list of patrons here. Again, thank you all so very much for your support. You literally make it possible to do what we do. This is our Dark Lords, our top supporters here. Aaron Duran, Alan Zonzo, Aurelia Roth, Blackwatch Ronan, Brad DeMogt, Chris Lewis, The Pretzel Bear, Chris Smoot, Christopher Klindering, C, Craig Savage, Cralius, David Bonney, Dean Nicole, Donald Scott Massey, Ducati, Flannel Fries, Forrest S. Moore, Graffumbly, Guy Vanderbrink, Ian Brooks, Josh Olin, Just Link, Kyle Garrett, Matthew, Mecca Shiva, Mercy Malunas, Mr. Owlbear, Nathan Crowder, Nick Bernard, Nightcrawler, Packray 101, Patch, Project Wolfbear, Reese, Reverse Sequanoth, that's cool, Rob Bacon Gollin, Tremarco, Ronan Monkey, Rosie and Sean at Sip Happens, Rum Soaked Chicken to Queen Bee, Tracer Vision, the Undisputed Baron of Disneyland, Valdemar, Night Road, War on Reality, Wee Nuckin' Futz, and Zort 1. I love seeing the same names week after week, and I also like seeing new names on there. So thank you all very much for your support. Take a look at our Patreon. We really appreciate it if you do. Patreon.com/The Black Dice Society. And we will be back in 10 minutes. Don't go nowheres. Hello, and welcome back. As you all pass through the mist part to reveal a primeval forest, a fragrant breeze wafts between the enormous trees, sending motes of pollen dancing into the air. Patches of sunlight kiss the forest floor, and the sweet melody of birdsong echoes all around. What would you all like to do?
First, I'd like to thank all of you for your assistance back there. Those horrid little things nearly turned me into a pincushion.
I turned back from a toad. I'm sorry, I have no way to help a dying friend, but to attack whatever hurt it.
Oh, you nearly swallowing her, I think, was pivotal in her agreeing to our terms.
It was very effective. I enjoyed watching it.
I enjoyed watching you heal Uriah. It's so incredible, the work that all of you do.
Oh, it's never a question. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Thank you. What's our next course of action then?
Valentine. Again, Tregram's voice is distant and thready. You can tell, it is difficult, even more difficult for him to reach you here than it was before. But you hear, Valentine, that was quite the display. First of all, your power is growing fearsome to behold. Deeply approved. I'm literally your #1 fan. Did you happen to notice what Voronika did?
The moonbeam thing?
No. Did you oh, you didn't see. Well, where to begin? Your friend apparently has promise and potential that we have not accounted for.
Of course, she's brilliant. What do you want?
Well, if you didn't, perhaps you're not so dissimilar. That's what I mean. Of course, you are beautiful and powerful and fearsome to behold, yes. But maybe keep an eye on her. Maybe keep an eye on her, Valentine.
Are you afraid, Tregram?
No, I mean, I have you, of course, to protect me, and the almighty power of the Godbrain. All hail the Godbrain. I fear nothing and no one except you and the almighty Godbrain. All hail the Godbrain. Forget I said anything. Perhaps I just was looking at her from an odd angle.
Perhaps dying and coming back will do such things to a person.
You know how for a time I had access to Tatiana as well. I'm still not quite clear on how I lost that, really. Do you think it would be worth trying to form such a relationship with Voronika? I don't even know if I could. She doesn't have a body. I'm not sure where I would live, but I would be interested in the challenge.
That won't be necessary. Tatiana was in dire need of your help. That is why you made a connection with Tatiana. Nika does not need you.
I suppose. I am nothing if not an opportunist, but she does have the access of such a brave band of powerful friends such as you all. What could anyone need with little old Tregram, right?
Be careful, Tregram.
I, as always, literally live to serve. And you feel him sort of drop away. As you all are making your way through this wonderful forest, Desmond, even more than when you originally arrived in the scope of the trees, and Tatiana as well, these trees rival the tallest towers you've ever seen in your life. in the places that you've been. I mean, you feel like you could build an entire village in the branches of some of these. And up ahead, you see one peeking up even through the treetops that you can see. One is like truly towering that you could probably build a village in, peeking up through the tree line.
So if we're looking for something called the tree,
Is it an oak?
Give me a survival check.
Me?
Anyone, presumably you posed that question out loud, so anyone
Yes.
can give, yeah, right, anyone
right.
can give survival.
just 14.
Dirty 20.
Let's see. I gotta give myself guidance.
17.
I mean,
16.
12.
20 is enough. I didn't know if anybody was going to outranger the ranger there. It is an oak. It's definitely not little. Perhaps it was meant ironically, Desmond. It is probably not just the biggest oak you've seen anywhere, but probably the biggest oak anywhere.
And we see it.
It's ahead, like as every once in a while, because right now it is mostly shady on the ground because of the thickness of the forest, but on occasion it breaks and you can see further along there is a much bigger tree ahead.
And I just kind of like pose it to everybody. Like, I've seen a lot of trees, obviously, but that one though, that's got to be the tree. And just point in the direction of the tree so that everybody can kind of see it.
I suppose little oak was meant ironically?
I would imagine so.
Yes, like a large man being called tiny.
All right. And Nahara like immediately goes to bow like Your Majesty and remembers like, oh no, that's over. I don't have to do that anymore.
It's okay. Because
Sorry,
even
it's-
still, unicorns are amazing. Like, that's not even a question.
Well, you know, that's really why you won, because, I mean, you have an honest love of unicorns.
Yeah, and she has an honest love of nature. I mean, again, if anybody can appreciate an honest love of nature, I'm that guy. So
It is a very
I'll let you
beautiful
know.
tree.
it really is.
Is
And may I say, everyone is looking marvelous today. I just wanted to compliment everyone.
You were looking absolutely fantastic as well, sir. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Valentine is somehow even more still than normal.
doing the opposite of dancing, whatever that is you all kind of make your way through the woods here. Again, there are squirrels and rabbits that are like the size of dogs bounding through the trees here. Just like everything is magnificent. And Nika, you tell me, I know your grandmother told you of these places, but did she ever bring you to the Feywild? Like, has Nika spent real time here?
She wasn't brought deep into the Feywild. She was kept more in the more civilized courts, if you will.
Then these fits the stories, Nika. You never seen it with your own eyes of just nearly just untamed growth. Like everything pushed to its limits. You realize, Nika, everything is basically about as big as it can be. Like if a squirrel were just any bigger, like a skeleton could not do squirrel things. You know, the trees are as wide as they can be without just collapsing under their own weight. It is like life taken to its logical extension. Not to the point of aberration, but to the logical extent is what you're witnessing.
Looks like the stories do these places justice.
Miss Veronica, I wonder, that hag, she said something to you. I couldn't make out the words, but it seemed to upset you somewhat.
Let's just say with the Fae, for as wonderful and lighthearted and whimsical as some of them can be, there can also be a streak the complete opposite.
Yes.
Their words. Just words.
Of course, but if there's anything we can assist you with, I mean, I know we're assisting you right now, but it must be somewhat difficult to return to a place that was left.
Honestly, I think I'd rather do what we're doing now so I can get back to Kashmir.
Of course.
But thank you.
Valentine, give me a perception check. Valentine and Tatiana both give me perception checks.
23.
2130, obviously.
Both of you, as you're making your way through the woods, experiencing this very differently, because Tatiana, this place just feels right. Valentine, this place looks better than hither looked, but you're still aware that it is out of joint. You still have that instinctive sense of it having been broken and reformed somehow. But it does look like the stories your mother would tell you when you were little. Did she tell you there were squirrels as big as you are that would go traipsing through the trees, you know, berries that you would have to hold with two hands? You see all of that out here.
There's a berry I can hold with two hands in front of me.
Yes.
I would like to eat said berry.
As you reach out and dive into it and start munching away, Valentine and Tatiana, you hear noises. Happy little noises.
Do you hear that adorable sound?
Valentine looks ready to fight.
I open my arms ready to hug.
The combat cuddle.
What is that?
Is you peer through the bushes, sort of up ahead in a small clearing, you see a tiny little six-legged cat with tentacles that has a big pine cone that it is just batting at.
Do you think this is like our friend Dirla?
Kind of.
Wasn't it strange that Dirla could talk, though?
It was. Doesn't seem that this one can. Well, or it's choosing not to. I'll try to make a telepathic link with the kitten.
You get nothing intelligible, just non-specific pleasure. The joy of setting up something to pounce on as she's just batting away at this pine cone. She's not thinking in terms of words or reason. Just happy little kitty.
I'm just gonna bend down and like let a couple of the like tentacles peek out of my eyes and try and like get down to eye contact with it.
When you sort of emerge out, she looks at you and flips over immediately, and telepathically you feel panic. And then you see a face, Valentine. Face doesn't mean anything to you, like a scrawny boy. And you hear zzz, and she's just gone. The same way you all saw Durlagron do as well, when she just shimmered and was not there anymore. That's what happened.
Where'd she go?
Did you see that?
What? Yeah.
Did you see the
I saw it
face?
disappeared. Did I see the face?
No, that was purely from your telepathic bond, Valentine. You're aware that the little kitten essentially thought of this face and then was gone.
I saw the cat go to nowhere. It was here and now it's nowhere.
It showed me the face of a boy.
What would a cat want to do with a boy? Or this beast, whatever it is.
I didn't recognize him.
Did you get a sense that was it somehow the same as the boy? Like, was the beast a boy?
It just seemed panicked. I'm not sure if it was because of me or it was communicating panic to do with the boy.
I say, weren't we meant to be looking for a displacer beast cub?
Someone was looking for a displacer beast cub for sure.
Well, I'm just thinking, your friend back at the carnival was missing one of her children, yes? And
Yes.
it had been abducted by the Hourglass Coven, or so we believe.
That's why I tried to communicate with it, but it just disappeared.
Do you think that others that have gone missing are here?
It could be. To be honest, I worry that anyone who was taken by the hags was probably consumed by them, or I suppose captured.
Who else do we remember was taken? Perhaps we can look for them.
There was a bugbear, Hurley, or was it Burley? We met one of them, and the other one was missing.
Right.
And of course, there was the halfling. I wonder if that halfling that BB vomited up was him.
Oh. Ooh.
Make a perception check. Actually, give me just a wisdom check, not a save. And Voronika and Desmond. Actually, I need Voronika and Desmond to give me the wisdom save, not Uriah, because they actually saw him. You didn't.
Yes, no, I just knew it was a halfling. I had described him.
Right.
You want to check?
Yeah, just
Wisdom
to check.
check?
Just to check.
16.
See?
There's a wisdom check is 12. No, that's a roll. Wisdom. Oh yeah, it's still 12.
Desmond, halfling, maybe. Nika, yeah, that was him.
Now that you mention it, oh yeah, those are his shoes.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Well,
it is him. Okay.
as I suspected, hags usually abduct people strictly for eating purposes, sometimes for enslavement as well, or torture. But eating tends to be their primary concern. I think that,
Well, maybe the little cub was able to get away.
yes. Well, we've
It's
seen
like-
it's quite capable of disappearing when it needs to.
I'd like to minor illusion my best interpretation of the boy's face to show to everybody.
It looks like a spindly 11-year-old boy. He's kind of got wild, unkempt hair. But other than that, his face doesn't seem in any way significant to any of you. He looks like a little boy who lives in the woods.
Oh, I've just thought of something. I've still got some kippers left. Do you suppose displacer beasts like kippers? They're sort of like cats, and cats love them. We could put some out and see if, perhaps some of our more druidy folk have an idea of how to lure animals or calm them.
Everything likes kippers.
I mean,
All right.
Seems solid to me. I mean, if you got an extra one, I'll take one.
I do, yes. I always carry plenty of kippers, yes.
Perfect. And then as he hands it to me, I like hand him the flask, like, hey man, have a sip.
I don't know about luring them, but if I'm able to speak with animals, I'm not sure how well it would work on a cub. But I'll try if we find him.
All of you give me perception checks.
16.
16, 18,
And
22.
20.
18.
13.
Tatiana, everybody is like trying to decide what to do, how to find this little cub. One thing you know how to do is have a good time, Tatiana. And Finn with a natural 20 as well. You are especially clear of this. You hear laughing coming through the trees. What sounds like children laughing. Finn, with that natural 20, I will give you it's 4 children laughing.
Do they sound like human children?
Hard to say. But it does sound genuinely happy.
Oh, joy. There's 4 kids.
just human children.
Can't tell, but they sound happy.
I hear them too. It is a nice sound. We haven't met a real child since our friend Hildy.
Hildy was awesome.
Well, she is awesome.
Obviously, but we haven't seen Hildy in a while. That's all I'm saying.
True. It's just when you speak of someone in the past tense.
I apologize for my
Makes me nervous.
phrasing. Touche.
Yes.
Brother, you're right. Touche. Also, have another segment. This is
Oh,
great.
thank you.
So, I would like to maybe.
I would just
test-
say around Brother Uriah, flowers start blooming. Just on the, you know, and you said like
Real
Are you just-
flowers?
Is that normal for you?
actual flowers start blooming, and you even see tiny little bugs start like flying in a circle over his head like a little halo as he takes that second nip of the flask.
Oh,
We all see this, yes?
Oh yes, no, they're really there. Like just nearby plants just start blooming and opening up all around him.
And the second that happens, Desmond's just like, I feel so much better after seeing that. And he just looks up and like, are you here, Cloud?
You see, this time the heart cloud does not appear, Desmond. But what does appear on the ground around you and Nika, flowers start blooming in the shape of a heart around the two of you. Just like, they come up and you just see it happen.
Desmond just looks at Nika and just,
And Nahara, seeing Brother Uriah, just gives like a cartoon, just heart eyes sigh.
A little bird comes down and lands on your shoulder, Nahara, and just like leans against you as well. Like,
And I'll just use speak with animals, be like, isn't he so handsome?
he's just adorable, and so are you. I love your glove.
okay, let's see how far we can take this. So Uriah sees that happening, and he gets happier.
That's it. Just the trees are just gonna start going. That's it. Unfortunately, this is a Ravenloft game, so at some point it's like
Yes.
good feelings gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whomping Willow. Yeah. Are you all going to go in the direction of the children's laughter?
Yes, but my sword is drawn and I am ready.
You up ahead, a small group of children frolic around a leafy oak tree, their gleeful yelps carrying through the forest. Painted swings dangle from the tree's branches. Nestled in its crown is a ramshackle treehouse. I'm gonna carry over, Finn, two things from that previous natural 20. They're playing at the base of this gargantuan oak. You see two things. That little cub is sitting on the shoulder of one of the children now. And that tree is not a tree. That is a treant that is just sitting immobile, Finn. You spend enough time in the woods that you're like, wait a second. That's not an oak.
Yeah. And I look over to Desmond. You know what that is, right? That's not actually a tree.
before Desmond responds, he obviously has encountered trance in my mind, but would he see what Fen sees before he responds?
Once she points it out to you, yeah, but again, this would be the biggest treant ever. Like it would be gargantuan. It would be mountainous if this were really a treant.
And just the second it dawns on him, just like, really? That is a treant? They get that big? And then immediately he just clocks it and just like, okay, we're here. And he just remembers most vibrant forest he's ever seen, tallest oak he's ever seen. It's like, it makes perfect sense that that would be a treant. Cool. Just, it's surprising, but he's just like, okay, I see that.
I have to say, for anyone who has the book, page 108 has a picture of the Displacer Beast cub, and it's kind of adorable. It's kind of adorable. 108.
Okay, there are things that I would never expect to be adorable.
Yep.
But a Displacer Beast cub, like, is the top of that list?
It's
that is adorable.
Those are murder myths. So much so, on the cover is actually Star. That's the cub. That's not Dilagron. That's the cub. Yep. So she's on the cover of the book. because Delagron looks different. But I digress. So you all see these kids, but it seems like they haven't seen you yet. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to sheathe my sword.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's just I realize it is what it is, and these are kids.
No, I'm just picturing it, and it looks amazing in my mind.
I just look at Desmond. You're the ranger.
And
Go
Desmond
do the rangery things.
Desmond is just, he likens them to cats and knows that they don't respond well to things just kind of just jumping in front of them. So he just kind of reaches to Brother Uriah and just, Kipper, please. And he takes the Kipper and just like kind of just like slowly, very slowly walks up to the cub. Just like holds the Kipper like by its tail at the very the smallest part he can hold and keep it steady without dropping it. He's holding that because he doesn't want to get too close, but he also wants to make sure to let it know that he's meaning well.
The moment you kind of come out of the forest a little bit, all 4 kids look at you and they stop and they go and they start scrambling up ladders and stuff into the trees. And you see one of the little boys who has the face that Valentine showed you is carrying the displacer beast cub up as well. And he gets up to the top and he just says, "Stand down or face merry hell!" Yelling.
I cast calm emotions on the children.
Perfect. I'm not even going to ask what the save is because they can't. Actually, do tell me what the save is.
The save on calm emotions is a 14 charisma save.
You see the little boy and all the other kids start to mellow. There is this little boy who's a human. There is a little male dwarf who has his first little patchy whiskers. There is a ginger-haired female wood elf and a female orc that looks like very enthusiastic during all of this. And you even hear the tree kind of like creaks a little, like when the calm emotions goes off. And they're like,
Brother Uriah, muted.
Uriah will call it. It's all right. We mean no harm.
They sort of look at each other and they're like, well, sorry, we were just, man, well, a lot of times the strangers are coming to take us away. So we were just, we hide in the tree and like Little Oak takes care of us.
Nah, man, I was just trying to bring you guys a snack for the cub you got in your arms. That's...
What do you mean strangers take you away?
Where are you from?
They just all sort of talk all at once. It's like, the Underdark, Sword Coast, the mountains. I've been told that everywhere has mountains, but that's just where I was from. We just went to the carnival and then, didn't have tickets, and they all kind of look at each other a little sheepishly.
So,
oh no.
And they were like, well, but Will rescued us. And the little boy, the one that is holding the cub, just says like, yes, I, Will of the Feywild, liberated the other members of the getaway gang, and now we help others get away as well.
You're the getaway gang.
Very brave, yes.
Do you solve mysteries?
We do.
Oh yes, we actually we're trying to solve a mystery ourselves. You see, a friend of ours is a displacer beast, and she's missing her cub.
You see the little orc girl looks and just says, well, Star's a displacer beast.
We noticed, yes.
And Will just looks at her and goes like, shh, 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 shh.
I mean, we know.
We can see.
we do kind of see that.
It's
It's
fairly
a
obvious.
distinct look.
Yeah.
Desmond,
Would you like to keep it from its mother?
you see Star shimmers for a second and vanishes appears right in front of you, snaps the kipper out of your hand, shimmers again, and is gone, and is back on his shoulder, chewing on the kipper.
He just kind of looks at Brother Uriah and just, kippers, man. Kippers.
Kippers.
Desmond. As a ranger, have you gained access to your primeval awareness yet?
No. Now concerned because I feel like I should have.
I mean,
Right there, because it's definitely gonna be there for next episode because we just leveled and I didn't actually level because I'm a doofus.
But you should have had access to it if you had just leveled up. Primeval awareness would have been next.
Let's see. Trying to look it up so I can make sure I can see the specific level that it becomes available so that I know and I'm not a liar.
I get it.
I'm a fan of not being a liar.
You should have had it at 3rd.
Oh, well then it might be there and I just haven't seen it.
That's all right.
Is that a trait?
It's just a ranger ability. It's just a thing rangers
can
do.
Yeah, that's there. My bad.
Yeah, no problem.
It's there. Sorry.
That's okay. Give me perception with advantage.
Okay.
Finn, you can also give me survival, which I think you get advantage anyway.
I do.
21.
21.
That is dirty 20.
22 and dirty 20. Something's up with that little boy. Will of the Feywild is not a human boy. You can't put your finger on what he is. The dwarf is a dwarf, the elf is an elf, the orc is an orc, the treant's a treant. That is not a little boy.
And then just Desmond kind of looks like, does Desmond notice that Fenn also notices?
Yeah, I'll say you guys have a look by now.
And he's like, Will, where'd you say you found that cub?
She got grabbed out of the Witchlight Carnival.
By who?
Skabatha Nightshade sent one of her people to get her, but I rescued her, like I rescued all the others.
That was certainly very brave of you, very helpful, Will.
Ha! Thank you. I am both brave and helpful. And when he says that, the other 3 kids are like, yeah, no, we're all brave and helpful. That's what we do. We mentioned we're the getaway gang. We did mention that, right?
Yes.
We help people get away.
And the second he says, yeah, like Desmond kind of just takes a couple extra steps toward him. Like, yeah, like obviously, of course you would help that displacer beast, but why?
You guys, you're new here, but I feel like you've been around a little bit. You ever seen a little girl about this high, and she's blue, and she's wearing like a mask that looks like a pig?
Yes, we've seen images of her.
Her name's Sal Pig. She works for Skabatha Nightshade, and when people come into the carnival and they don't have tickets, which is usually kids, she takes them to Skabatha, and then sometimes we intervene, and she had Star, and we managed to sneak Star away. She's teleporting. I don't know if you've noticed. It's hard to keep her anywhere she doesn't want to be.
Star does what she wants. That's pretty obvious.
You are very brave.
I try to be for the sake of my friends. Yes. What are you all doing here?
Well, as mentioned, we're trying to solve a mystery as well. The mystery of the missing cub.
Well, if you promise to behave, you can come up to the treehouse.
I certainly promise to behave. I love behaving and following rules.
That's true. He does love that. You love that, Uriah.
Yes.
They sort of look at each other, and you see they sort of like get in kind of discussing, and you very much see the orc is like very clearly doing like this, and the little elven girl's like, you know, as they're talking. And Star shimmers and disappears again. Hold on. Let me, I have to ask one quick question here. I have to look something up.
While we're doing that, just while I'm conversing with Will, I'm gonna try an insight check on him.
Okay.
And I did one when people were talking to him as well. It's in the chat.
Okay. I see that.
Just a 15 for me.
Finn, you're sure he's not what he appears, but he does not appear to be lying. When he's like, Sal Pig kidnaps people, we get them back again. He is not lying about that.
Valentine's just gonna like reach down into her little like side satchel and pull out the little toy from Dilligron.
The mirrored ball?
The one that the kid kept throwing.
When you do that, Star's head whips around immediately and her pupils get wide and she vanishes and reappears right in front of you. And like her tentacles reach out for it. Like,
and I hold it up just a little higher than she can reach. And I offer her like, how big is a displacer kitten?
Well, we've established that Valentine is fairly petite, so I'd say she's about knee high to you. She's probably about the size of a small dog. Displacer beasts usually don't get as big as Dilligron is, so they get to about the size of panthers, which, don't get me wrong, is like 800 pounds or something, which is not small. She's probably 40, maybe 50 pounds.
You're coming with us now. Do you understand?
As you're looking in her eyes, you've had plenty of pets in your time, Valentine. You're looking into the eyes of a beast. Like, she kind of gets this, like, you're asking me for something, but you have my ball. There is not that hint of intelligence that Dilligron had. However, she does just shimmer and reappears on your shoulder, and you can feel her purring, Valentine, as she's still just, like, reaching out with the tentacles for the ball.
I'll give her the ball with the her tentacles.
She very much pulls it in, and you all can hear just like emanating out of this little displacer beast.
I'll just reach up to pet her.
And Will does not look disturbed by this. He goes like, well, I guess that settles it if Star likes you guys. And he like pulls a lever, and like a long ladder does roll down from the treehouse, and the kids start climbing higher up.
I'm just going to cast Speak with Animals to see if it can understand me.
So here's where things get weird, because technically she's not an animal.
Yeah, right.
So as you try and talk to her, she's still like, just looks like a happy little kitten that now has regained its favorite toy and is just like butting Valentine. And unfortunately, Valentine, her head's almost as big as yours, so this is no small thing. And she's like, boom. Like, yep.
Uriah, do you have a lot of kippers on you?
I do. I'll approach and just sort of gingerly hold one out on my hand and see if the kitten takes it.
You know she's got one of the tentacles around the toy, and the other tentacles are like,
I like it.
I can't quite communicate with it, so...
Hold on, Valentine, you think this creature is cute?
That's adorable.
It has tentacles.
That is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. Oh, so happy for you.
It makes me feel normal. I'm moving now.
It will grow up to be an unrepentant apex killing machine, Valentine. So you got a lot in common with this.
Lovely.
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking it might not be so unusual that we can't communicate with it. I mean, after all, its mother is capable of communication, but this is essentially an infant. We wouldn't be able to communicate with a baby either.
Which is why I don't like babies.
Well, that's why I asked if you had enough kippers on you, because we probably need it.
Maybe to keep it entertained when it gets sick of the ball. Currently very content.
Yes,
like headbutted again.
But in the meantime, I'm actually quite anxious to see the Getaway Gang clubhouse.
When
Absolutely.
you all climb up, the floor of the treehouse is covered with blankets, cushions, and piles of straw. Hanging from the 6-foot-high ceiling by a rope is a basket that holds apples, berries, and sugar canes, and a few crumpled up sheets of parchment. In one corner, lying on a cushion, is a rusty oil can that looks out of place. Heaped into another corner is a crude unicorn costume made out of polka dot quilts and a wooden horse's head that has a wooden horn attached to it. And as you get up, Will says, "So I'm Will." He points at the dwarf and says, "That's Bobby." He points at the little elven girl and she goes and says, "That's Sloane." And she just kind of makes a dramatic, sarcastic bow, like very low down. Like you all are like, "Ugh, thanks, Mom," making me greet these people. And the orc, he's like, "That's Xenor." And Xenor walks right up to you, Tatiana. She barely comes to your waist. And she just looks right up at you and she's like, "You don't look so tough."
I am extremely tough.
"I bet I could beat you in a wrestling match."
Tatiana, you
You're
cannot
wrong.
wrestle a child, please.
I'll go easy.
Tatiana, don't do it.
Tatiana's
It's
gonna
bait.
powerbomb.
It's
Challenge me to wrestle. What am I supposed to do?
Tatiana,
It's bait.
you say
Tatiana.
no.
Literally bait.
I'm just gonna step forward and I'm gonna reach out to take Tatiana's hands,
Just grapple her
both of
with-
them in front of her. Both hands.
Tatiana,
Tatiana.
no suplex, no suplex.
No hell in the cell, Tatiana. Do
Tatiana. Tatiana,
Mm.
you can beat her in a fight.
No, I
We
know
know
that. I
this.
want her to know that.
I know. No. Look,
Oh,
everyone
No.
here,
There's no need.
everyone
We'll be
here
here all day.
knows that. Everyone here knows that. It's very obvious.
And then-
She's below your weight class.
I will
It
just
would
say,
be
You know, I
don't
first
wanna
killed
say-
when I was 7.
right, and it's not made any of us very well adjusted. So,
I just
my
will-
hope here.
Fen just chimes in.
won't
There's
do
no
that.
honor. Sorry.
Wait, what were you saying, Valentine? Sorry.
So my hope here is that you will not wrestle the child. Mhm.
And yes, Finn.
I was just gonna say there's no honor in beating a child.
No. I would not hurt the child.
I'm not a
Everyone-
child.
I didn't say
I'm
hurt.
not
I
a-
said beat.
I'm not a child. I'm 11. And while I do not condone violence against children, if you want to choke slam an 11-year-old orc, I will let you do it, Tatiana.
I very much would like to put this child in her place, but I respect my friends too much.
Thank you.
And I
Tatiana.
release Valentine's hands with a nod.
You see Zenor turns around and walks over to Sloane, the elf, and she goes, "Told you she'd be scared."
I'm just going to lean down next to the 11-year-old and say, "You're so weak, she won't even come in your vicinity. Sit down, small one."
And also, I'm not scared.
And with that,
Tentacles and all.
and Desmond just like, "Yep, that's fine and dandy," and just leans into Will and just, "What's this about the unicorn?"
We're all fans of unicorns here. I felt like everyone is a fan of a unicorn.
I mean, obviously, how are you not a fan of a unicorn if you suggest that you're not? But what's the deal with this one?
I mean,
It
well, there's a really sad unicorn that lives nearby, and we go visit her sometimes, and one of us puts on the unicorn costume, and it seems like it makes her happy.
okay. And tell me more about this unicorn. What she look like?
She's like horse size, and she's got a really pretty red mane. And you see the little elven girl, Sloane, for the first time really perks up, and she's like, "No, that doesn't even do it justice. No, it's like she's so majestic, and her hair is red like mine, and she's got a long flowing tail, and it's just so sad what happened to Eladon, and now she like can't go on without him. It's terrible."
Eladon?
Eladon?
Eladon was her mate. Her name is Lamorna. He was Eladon. They were so nice. They would give us rides. But now, since he's gone, she just seems so sad.
And what happened to Eladon?
I don't know.
Separated from her mate? That's terrible.
Perhaps we could go help you cheer the unicorn up. As a matter of fact, I believe we do have a unicorn costume of our own.
And I kind of lean in and just, I won the Monarch title in Witchlight Carnival because of my love for unicorns. So please, tell me more.
When you say that, that odd oil can begins to hop forward across the floor, like in two dents that look like eyes and a third dent that looks like a mouth appear in the side of it, and it just says Manchester.
Well,
Desmond just takes a second to gather and just realizes that I can just say it. And just like taking a second, just, it is a pleasure to meet you.
My name is Squirt. May I be of some assistance?
Much, Squirt. We're trying to learn more about this unicorn.
You see Will reaches down and physically picks up Squirt, and he says, wait. I am smarter than I look, and I can tell you guys want something with the unicorn. If you want the unicorn, you got to do something for us.
And then
someone's taught you well.
right when he said that, Desmond kind of leans in and just, we know the rules of this place. And have you told your friends that you are not a little human boy?
You see his eyes get huge. And he says, I'm Will of the Feywild. I don't know what.
Yeah. Your name can be Will. You can be from many places. But your friends don't know that you're not a human boy. And I can smell a lot of things. I do smell that you're not a human boy, so you could just help us. I get the feeling they wouldn't like finding out what you really are, unless you want to tell them.
Give me insight, Desmond. You notice the other kids seem completely occupied. Bobby, Sloan, and Zenora are arguing in the corner about whether or not Zenora could take Tatiana.
I'm going to give you guidance on that.
Because both...
I'm going to need it, because...
Bobby and Sloan are like, she just didn't want to hurt you. And Zenora's like, I assure you she was just afraid of me. And like, they're just going back and forth and not noticing this exchange.
So what does that assist do? Like, because I'm
D4.
gonna need it. A D4. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add the D4.
Hearing this information, can Uriah is going to cast Detect Good and Evil and see what he gets from Will.
Detect Good and Evil.
Something.
Detect Good and Evil gives you what?
It will tell me whether he's a fae, undead, fiend. I believe that's maybe aberration as well. Let me just double check that.
I think it's undead, celestials, fae, and fiends. It's the same as the paladin.
Yes.
Paladin sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He is neither undead, celestial, fae, or fiend.
Not fae.
Yeah, he is not fae.
Can I try an insight check to see?
You can. You absolutely can.
Also guidance.
18. Oh, 18 plus, and I get a D4 on that? Double guidance doesn't work, does it?
Oh, just once. You're so guided. Everybody's like right over there, right there. Yeah.
So that takes it up to 19.
Is Desmond leans in, and Desmond, you see this too, along with Uriah, when you basically are like, we will bust you out to your friends. His eyes kind of widen for a second, like he clearly doesn't want that, but he's like, but the job's really important. So, okay, I'll make a deal. Counter deal. I'll take you to the unicorn. I'll help you with whatever you need. But after that, you got to help us. Because there's more kids. We know where they are.
What's the job?
He literally flips over one of the boards that is in there, and he has a map to what looks like a marketplace. And he's like, goblins. They take the kids and they put them to work. Like, sometimes they come in, and the ones that the hags don't take to the castle, that we don't get the ones back from the castle, sometimes they just let the goblins use them as, like, workers. And the goblins, like, make them, like, make toys and, like, other goblin stuff. So we want to, like, creep in there and get them all loose, you know? And then we'll bring them here, and they can hang out with us in the tree. And then the getaway gang will be even getaway gangier.
Uriah says very loudly, "Of course I will help you."
Yes, of course. We
If
can't
he
allow.
agrees, obviously, we agree.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yet, whether or not any of you can fight, it doesn't matter. We will help you.
he just says, he just says, okay. Hey, they're gonna help. Okay, little oak, going up, please. And you all hear, and everything starts to shake, and everything kind of rocks to the right a little bit, and then everything rocks to the left as this treant pulls up one leg and kind of like posts off its knee, and then the other, and you all rise high above the tree canopy. So
We're
much
moving.
You're going straight. He's like, oh yeah, that's Oak. Yeah, say hi, little Oak. And you all just hear like, yeah, that's him saying hi. Yeah. If you look way over there, because once he's up over the tree line, you can see in all directions. And he's like, over there, you see that lake? See that like you kind of, all right, see, okay, so you go through the woods, and then there's a hill, and you see that hill shaped like a tooth. We call that Tooth Hill. I mean, it's kind of on the nose, but whatever, it helps. If you go past there's some rocks. You climb those rocks. On the other side of those rocks is the lake. That's where the unicorn is. She's over there. That's where you'll find Lamorna. So a deal's a deal. You can help us like spring our friends, but then you know that we paid up. She's over there. See, I mean, no, turn your head that way. That way. No, she's over there. See that? Got it.
Seems good.
Yes. Thank you, Will. And of course, yes, if there are children being treated in such a manner, well, we must put a stop to it.
You see, the oil can kind of squirms out of his hands and says, "You all are truly heroes. I will tell your story."
Oh, go on, Squirt.
I wasn't worried until you wanted to tell our story, Squirt. How are you?
Me? I'm good.
Yes. Are you sure?
Yes.
Just checking.
Do I not seem good?
I don't know. That's why I had to check. Like you just said, you were telling a story, and I like breathing. We like breathing. Telling our story seems like a very past tense kind of thing. So, like, since we're still here, little concerned.
As a construct, I'm functionally immortal. So at some point, I will exist and you won't, and I will tell others of your heroism.
You're a construct. Who constructed you?
I don't know.
Oh, all right. I didn't know who constructed me for quite a while, and then when I found out, it was actually a bit of a rude awakening.
Rather common to be disappointed with who constructed you.
Oh. You see all the kids kind of stop for a second and are like, yeah. Then they all sort of look at each other. They're like, but they go and they come back, and you see they've got on, they've changed clothes into like dark mottled clothing that is like semi-camouflaged, and they have like wooden weapons, and they're like, okay, the plan is we're gonna sneak into the goblin market, distract them, and then somebody goes in and gets the kids and smuggles them out, and then the goblins won't even know what happened to them.
I don't understand. I can hear someone speaking, but I can't see anyone.
I told you the camouflage would work. No, wait, hey, we're here, Uriah.
Oh, there you are.
I
Yes.
just send a telepathic message to Brother Uriah before they do that. It's the orphans.
Hmm?
Oh, never mind. Joking. You're playing with them.
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes. I was joking.
You see Tatiana, when he acknowledges this, you see Zenor, the little orc girl, is still mean mugging you. This look how good my camouflage is. You know?
I wild shape into a snake.
You see her eyes light up like it's amazing, and then remembers that she's mean mugging and is like, yeah, I mean, but what I could do that if I wanted to, but I don't need to because I'm an orc, you know?
I can't talk anymore, but I slither around her and I coil, but I don't squeeze. I just hug gently.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I wasn't ready to wrestle. Wait, I wasn't ready. Yeah. Okay.
And then I uncoil and go sit in the corner.
Yeah, when Tatiana's coiled around her and she's struggling, Uriah just drops to one knee and then hits the ground 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
No, I wasn't ready. Ow! And
I drop back into Tatiana.
Immediately, the little dwarf boy is like, oh! And she's like, I wasn't ready. I want to do over.
What?
And you see Zenor does just storm out of the room, stomps, boom, 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 out of the room.
I taught her a valuable lesson, right? I didn't do a bad thing to a kid.
Nah, that was
in
important.
place. It was a snake. It was cool.
It was a gentle lesson. Humility, yes.
Will does learn and leans over and looks at you and is like, she's got to learn to pick her battles. Yeah. It's like,
children should have some fear.
He's like, personally, I appreciate it. And he extends a hand to you, Tatiana.
I give the hand.
When you shake his hand is like titanium. He's carved out of stone. And he just makes eye contact with you while he's shaking your hand. Yeah.
I squeeze the hand really hard.
He seems unfazed, Tatiana.
And you said you were human, yes?
Just a normal little boy. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So just a normal human bartender? Is that his?
I'm from Neverwinter Deepgate. Yeah. That's
Neverwinter Deepgate.
Yeah,
never heard of it.
Probably never heard of it. No, it's just the far from here. Yeah.
I've heard all of those words, but never strung together like that.
I don't expect you to have heard of it. Hey, but look, hey, Star likes you guys. As you see, Valentine, Star has now gone to sleep on your shoulders, just draped, tentacles draped over you, and all 6 legs are just splayed.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. I cast Detect Thoughts on the boy. As he's doing his Neverwinter Deep Gate.
What does he have? He doesn't get a save. He just only has a save if you try to dive deeply, right?
There is a wisdom save. At the beginning, I can get the surface thoughts, and I'm going to try and dive in, and then there's a wisdom save of 14.
What languages do you speak?
I have an additional spell that allows me to pick up languages, if that's what you're asking. But I don't know if I could do it at the same time as Detect Thoughts. Because it is a concentration.
Let me see. Is it Comprehend Languages, your other one?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see if Comprehend Languages is... Comprehend Languages is not concentration. I will say, I'll give you both. Initially, when you listen to his thoughts, he's thinking, what languages do you speak again? I apologize.
Just standard. I speak Abyssal, Common, Deep Speech, and Infernal.
He's thinking in a language that you don't know, Valentine. It's very deep and grumbly, which, I mean, you speak Deep Speech and Abyssal, so you know deep and grumbly. But it's just There's just like a lot of consonants and
comprehend languages won't work on that?
When you activate comprehend languages, you hear he's thinking, it is probably good that Zenor learned early. This Genasi did her a kindness. If it had been one of my kind, they'd have broken her arm or worse. Unfortunately, I don't know that comprehend languages innately lets you know what language you're comprehending. You just understand
I understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that I hear. I also understand written languages. I
will say he failed the save as you dive deeper. So what are you trying to find out?
As he was lying through where he is from, I'm trying to figure out, typically you would be thinking about what you're covering up.
I mean, are you implying that he's not from Neverwater Gate?
I am implying that he's not from Neverwater Gate, Deep Gate. No.
Yeah. You see, you get an image of walking through the woods, and it is dark and it is raining, and you feel massive. And you hear, and you come around a clearing and you see Star. She's a little smaller than she is right now, but she's terrified. She's trembling. And around her are 3 strange dogs, big brown dogs. And Star shimmers and disappears, but the dogs shimmer and disappear. They like, you hear like a pop, and they're around her. And then she shimmers and disappears again, and they disappear, and they're around her. And she's, and the dogs are growling and coming in. And you see a huge hand reach out and grab one of them and break its neck instantly. And the other 2 dogs are like, and turn and pounce on the person. And that's the end of the memory.
What perspective am I seeing it from?
His perspective.
Just the perspective of someone watching this happen.
No, this is
the person who snapped
Will
the dog.
remembers this happening.
Right. So he's the one who reached out and grabbed the dog.
You distinctly comprehend he was trying to save Star. But massive.
Noted. I will just message Tatiana. Be careful with Will. Very.
You know when you do that stone
very
thing?
Careful with Will. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, he's got something like that.
Noted. And I'll slowly let the rest of the party know. I'll just send out messages saying to be very cautious around Will. And I'll just kind of pet my sweet Star Kitty.
Yep. Brother Uriah, were you about to say something?
Do we get the specific memory transmitted to us as well, or
I mean,
just to be careful?
So far, all I've said is to be very, very careful around Will.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait to transmit the rest just because I don't know what his abilities are yet until we are in a safe place.
Makes total sense. So here, high atop the gargantuan tree at Little Oak, with the getaway gang of a little dwarf, a little elf, a little orc, and a little something, about to launch a rescue mission to free some kidnapped children on your way to locate a lonely unicorn who is the key to Zybilna's liberation, is a good place for us to stop.